ranked South Carolina Gamecocks. I am thankful that at least the coaches poll is starting to pay attention to them because you're correct. It was absolute silliness that up until this week they had fallen out of the top 25 or actually just not been ranked at all. When you look at their offensive output, which I can't even believe I'm saying because you know how much I love Dow Loggins as an offensive coordinator. I mean, one of the best. Never mind. But when you look at their offensive output and how strong, especially their defensive line is, they are accomplishing some things that I think people have just, for whatever reason, chosen not to pay attention to. Maybe it is because when they had a chance to win that LSU game, they weren't able to finish it. When they had a chance to win that Alabama game, which to their defense was in Tuscaloosa, they didn't finish it. They didn't pull off the win. But still, here they sit at 6-3, bowl eligible. And if there's one thing you can say about Shane Beamer, whether you love him, like him, whatever, we talked about that emotion that he brings to the table is I think sometimes that emotion really does kind of spill over into the team and propels the team because they finished strong. In his 3 years, his first year, not so much. They only had one win, but in the next 2 years, so in the last 2 years, they have won 2 of 3 of their final 3 games. So they have finished strong no matter how they've gone into those final 3 games, because last year they were fighting for bowl eligibility and ended up not winning that third game of the final 3 that would have given them that 6th win, but still they won 2 of those 3 games. And so I think you have to acknowledge his ability to kind of propel this team into finishing strong with his personality and his emotion, what he brings to the table as a coach, his ability to inspire. And again, if they win 2 of their 3 games this year, they're at 8-4 at least with winning 2 of those 3 games, and they're making a strong case for some nice postseason play. Obviously, with 4 losses, not talking about playoffs, but a nice bowl and a high finish in the conference. And their offense is just absolutely mind blowing with the production that they're putting out and the balance that they have shown. That's the thing that really has been demonstrated over these the last let's say the last 4 games roughly, or the last 3 games that they won roughly. The one exception to that is Oklahoma. They found kind of a weakness in Oklahoma's defense, being able to throw the ball. And so and that was kind of a weird, funky game. So they threw it more than they did anything else. But since Rocket Sanders in the last 2 games has started to look like Rocket Sanders, the balance has been incredible, and their offense has been really, really, really off the charts. So 530 yards against Texas A&M, a 46% to 54% run to pass ratio, 452 yards against Vanderbilt with a 53% to 47% run pass ratio. So they're of the yards gained. So they're balanced, and they are putting it together at the right time. They are setting themselves up to finish strong. I think you can legitimately make the statement, this is a team that no one wants to play. The question, if I'm a Gamecock fan, can you live up to it? Because you can't get ranked, you can't get in the top 25, at least in the coaches poll, have all of this conversation about you, and then lay an egg against Missouri. It is a game for you to finish the season the way you want to. It is a game that has to finish with a W. And the thing that makes that difficult is Missouri is facing the exact same thing. This is a must-win game for both teams. But if South Carolina, you're the only team being talked about as the team that nobody wants to play because of what your defense looks like, because of what your rushing offense looks like, your rushing attack looks like. So you've got to live up to that to finish the season the way you want to finish This is an impressive South Carolina team. Can they finish with the same level of strength and stamina and fight that they've had to get to where they are at this point, being 24 ranked and pulling off some really, really nice wins the last 2 weeks against ranked opponents?
That's a lot of numbers, Darren. My poor brain is trying to catch up computing. I feel like I got an old computer system and it's just, but you were very convincing. I thought, man, Darren should go work for the IRS. Goodness
I,
gracious. You said it with such authority, so I believe it. And I'm going to
well,
go back and watch the show when it comes out and slow it down.
see, I had to have that many numbers to convince myself that Dow Loggins was putting together a good offense. That's where all those numbers come from. I had to have a spreadsheet worth of numbers to make it make sense to my brain.